Kai Dud, Branch Chair, Bristol and District of Mall, to second this motion on behalf of my branch. Now, let's put this in context. Let's put this legislation in context. If you look at all the centre-right parties across Europe, not one of them would put forward this legislation. It's an extremist policy. Not one of them would consider doing it. And I think the test for any legislation is to say, is it necessary? Is it dealing with a problem or a perceived problem? And I don't think that's the case with this, because historically speaking, strikes, the last 5-year period, strikes have been at historically a low level. And given the fact that we've suffered austerity, all these cuts, all these attacks on workers, I'm really surprised at that. It wasn't much higher, but it's been at a level that's historically low. And only 1 in 5 strike ballots actually lead to a strike. So to say that the UK has got a major problem with strikes is wrong, and I don't think that the fact that they're bringing this legislation forward meets that test that is necessary. So it's clearly an attack on working class people. It's an attack on organised labour. So we need to do something about it. And let's be honest, the Lords have done a good job. They've managed to shave a few bad things off the bill. So I think they had a victory on check-off and opt-in political funding. But the main measures, the main things that the Tories really want are still in place. So we've got ballot thresholds. So under the legislation, on the minimum turnout required, a 79% yes vote would make that ballot invalid. So you need an 80% yes vote on the minimum turnout. On agency workers, you can still bring in scab labour to break a strike. That's still in there. And probably the big one that would affect us in Bristol is publishing your tactics up front. So you need to let the employers know what tactics you're going to use up front. And if you want to up the ante or change your tactics, you have to reballot. So that's going to seriously curtail us in Bristol. And then you've got the attack on public sector facility time and the certification officer as well. It's going to make us go through unnecessary hoops and actually unnecessary admin, and they're going to make us pay for it. So it's a bit like Donald Trump when he says, I'm going to build the wall and I'm going to make Mexico pay for it. So that's the same situation here with the certification officer. And almost every measure in this bill goes against the Human Rights Convention, the ILO Convention. So if people want to get up here and say we can't do it because we're breaking the law, no, let's do it because we want to defend the law. We want to defend international law. We want to defend human rights, and we want to defend civil rights. So please, let's not talk tough. Let's act tough. Let's deliver this. Let's deliver this policy, and let's carry this motion. I second.
Thanks, Kai.